In the quiet corners of suburban America, nestled beneath the veneer of everyday routines, there exists a fascination that has woven itself into the very tapestry of my life. An obsession that ignites my curiosity, fuels my imagination, and beckons me to peer beyond the veil of the ordinary. I am a middle-aged man, unremarkable in appearance, yet driven by an extraordinary fixation: aliens and abduction stories. Since I was a child, I've been drawn to the stars that twinkle in the velvet night sky. Those pinpricks of light have always held a tantalizing allure, hinting at the vastness of the universe and the secrets it might hold. As the years passed and childhood dreams matured into adult inquiries, that allure evolved into a full-fledged infatuation, one that would define my journey through life. Now, standing on the threshold of middle age, I find myself ensnared by a pursuit that transcends the mundane. It's more than a fascination. It's a relentless exploration of the unknown, a dogged determination to uncover truths that lie beyond the scope of human comprehension. While friends my age may trade stories of sports and investments, I immerse myself in books, documentaries, and late-night online forums dedicated to UFO sightings, alien encounters, and tales of inexplicable abductions. My free time is an excavation, a quest for evidence and anecdotes that will help me piece together the puzzle of a phenomenon that has captured my mind. My study is a sanctuary of sorts, a place where the walls are adorned with maps of celestial bodies, timelines of purported extraterrestrial interactions, and photographs that capture the elusive brilliance of unidentified flying objects. These artifacts are more than decorations. They're my companions, my windows into a world that exists beyond the ordinary. A corkboard dominates one corner of the room, a mosaic of conspiracy theories, newspaper clippings, and first-hand accounts. Each detail, each scrap of information, holds significance, carrying the weight of stories that have been dismissed as delusions or hoaxes. But to me, they are threads that weave together a narrative far more compelling than any work of fiction. To some, my obsession might seem odd, even absurd. Family gatherings often find me cornered by curious relatives who chuckle at my dedication, suggesting that I've spent one too many nights watching science fiction movies. Yet they fail to understand that this pursuit is not about escaping reality. It's about engaging with a reality that extends far beyond our limited perceptions. The abduction stories, in particular, have a hold on me. Those accounts of ordinary individuals who claim to have been plucked from their lives and subjected to inexplicable experiments ignite a flame of both fear and wonder within me. I read their testimonies with a mix of skepticism and hope, wondering if there's a grain of truth in their words, if they've glimpsed the edges of a reality we've yet to comprehend. My search for answers has led me down countless rabbit holes. I've connected with fellow enthusiasts, swapping stories and sifting through data in search of patterns. I've attended conventions, listening to experts discuss everything from government cover-ups to the possibility of extraterrestrial communication. And while the information can be overwhelming, it's a testament to the enormity of the topic I've chosen to embrace. I'm often told that I should channel my passion into writing a book, a way to share my findings with the world. But the truth is, my obsession isn't driven by a desire for recognition or accolades. It's an earnest quest for truth, a hunger to understand what lies beyond our comprehension. I'm not an author. I'm an investigator, traversing the blurred lines between fact and fiction, seeking the threads that bind our reality to the mysteries of the cosmos. As I stand beneath the stars that have held my gaze since childhood, I feel a connection that transcends time and space. The night sky is a canvas painted with the dreams and questions of countless generations, a canvas that has guided explorers and dreamers to look beyond themselves. I am a middle-aged man, an explorer of the extraordinary, a seeker of truth in the face of the inexplicable. My obsession with aliens and abduction stories isn't just a hobby. It's a journey into the enigmatic heart of the universe, a journey that I am honored to undertake. The night was unusually clear, the stars above gleaming with an intensity that felt almost palpable. I stood in my study, surrounded by the evidence of my obsession, maps, photographs, and the soft glow of my computer screen. The dim light cast elongated shadows across the room, adding an air of mystery to the atmosphere. Little did I know that this night would be unlike any other, that my obsession would lead me to a truth I could never have imagined. I had just finished reading a particularly intriguing account of an alleged abduction when a strange sensation washed over me. It was as if the air itself had shifted, and an inexplicable chill crawled down my spine. I glanced around, my heart quickening as a strange unease settled in the pit of my stomach. Then, as if guided by an invisible hand, my gaze was drawn to the window. The night outside seemed to ripple, as if a pebble had been dropped into the fabric of reality. My breath caught in my throat as I watched in disbelief. Was it a trick of the light, a product of my overactive imagination, or was something far more extraordinary unfolding before me? Before I could fully comprehend what was happening, a blinding light erupted from the sky, illuminating the entire room. I shielded my eyes, my heart pounding as a force I could not resist lifted me off my feet. Panic surged through me as I was engulfed by the light, a sensation of weightlessness overtaking my senses. When the light finally faded, I found myself in an unfamiliar place. The walls glowed with an ethereal luminescence, and the air hummed with a faint, melodious resonance that seemed to vibrate through my very being. I stood on a platform that extended before me, the material beneath my feet soft and malleable, like nothing I had ever encountered. A voice, clear and yet devoid of sound, resonated within my mind. "Welcome, seeker of truth," it said, a mixture of curiosity and warmth in its tone. "You have embarked on a journey few of your kind have experienced." My heart raced as I looked around, trying to make sense of my surroundings. Before me stood three figures, tall and slender, their skin a pale, luminescent blue that seemed to emit a gentle glow. Their eyes, large and almond-shaped, fixed on me with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. "You are not dreaming," the voice continued, a reassurance that did little to quell my sense of disbelief. "You stand in the presence of beings from beyond your realm, from a civilization that spans the stars." As the shock began to ebb, replaced by a mixture of fear and awe, I found my voice. Are you aliens?" I asked, my words shaky. "We are explorers, seekers of knowledge," the voice replied, "and you too have been chosen to partake in our quest." Chosen. The word resonated within me, carrying with it a weight I could barely comprehend. My obsession had led me to this moment, a moment that defied logic and stretched the boundaries of reality itself. They explained their purpose, their ceaseless pursuit of understanding the universe and its myriad mysteries. They spoke of civilizations that spanned galaxies, technologies that surpassed human comprehension, and the interconnectedness of all things in the cosmic tapestry. It was a conversation that defied language, a communion of thoughts that transcended words. Days, or were they weeks, seemed to pass as I delved deeper into their world. Corridors twisted and shifted, leading me to realms that bent the laws of physics and landscapes that defied logic. I marveled at the advanced knowledge they shared, the intricate dance of particles that could be shaped with a mere thought. Yet, amidst the wonders, a yearning for Earth tugged at my heart. Memories of my home planet, of loved ones and simple joys, resurfaced with an intensity that surprised me. It was as if my time among the aliens had rekindled my appreciation for the familiar, for the bonds that tied me to humanity. And then, one day, or was it night, the blinding light returned, and I found myself back in my study, the maps and photographs untouched by time. The room was as it had always been, the dim light casting its elongated shadows. Had it all been a dream? A trick of the mind? But as I looked out the window, I saw the stars twinkling above, a reminder that something extraordinary had transpired. The abduction stories, the accounts that had driven my obsession, had become my reality. I had traversed the realms of the unknown, encountered beings that defied comprehension, and returned with a truth that was now mine to hold. As I stand in my study now, surrounded by the artifacts of my fascination, I am reminded that the boundaries of reality are far more malleable than we can imagine. The night sky is a canvas painted with the dreams and questions of countless generations, a canvas that has guided explorers and dreamers to look beyond themselves. I am a middle-aged man, an explorer of the extraordinary, a seeker of truth in the face of the inexplicable. My obsession with aliens and abduction stories has transformed from a journey into the enigmatic heart of the universe, into a journey that has carried me across the very stars themselves, a journey that has revealed the interstellar mysteries I had always dreamed of. The return to my ordinary life after that inexplicable journey should have been a relief, a return to the familiar rhythms of suburban America. But as the days turned into weeks, a subtle unease settled within me. It was as if the boundaries between my encounter with the alien beings and my reality were beginning to blur, as if the threads of the cosmic tapestry had left an indelible mark on my existence. At first, the changes were barely noticeable. A twinge of pain here, a bout of dizziness there. I dismissed them as the result of exhaustion, a consequence of my mind struggling to reconcile the extraordinary with the mundane. But as the weeks stretched into months, the symptoms grew more pronounced, more insistent. It started with an inexplicable fatigue that seemed to grip me, sapping my energy even after a full night's sleep. I would wake up, my body heavy and unresponsive, as if the act of resting had become an exertion in itself. I attributed it to stress, to the weight of my obsession finally catching up to me. But the fatigue was only the beginning. It was soon joined by persistent headaches that felt as if a vice were tightening around my skull. The pain was searing, blinding, and no amount of over-the-counter medication could dull its intensity. It was as if my mind itself was protesting against the forces that had unraveled the fabric of reality. Then came the bouts of nausea, a relentless churning in the pit of my stomach that left me hunched over the toilet, struggling to keep down even the simplest of meals. I consulted doctors, underwent tests, and was met with puzzled expressions and speculative diagnoses. Yet, despite the battery of medical assessments, there was no clear answer to the deterioration of my health. The pain, both physical and mental, became a constant companion. It was as if my body was rebelling against the ordinary, as if the experience with the alien beings had altered the very essence of my being. The lines between my memories of that encounter and my reality grew thinner, each moment tainted by the uncertainty of what lay beyond our understanding. I found myself standing before the same window through which the blinding light had once enveloped me. The stars above, the very same stars that had beckoned my curiosity since childhood, now seemed to whisper secrets I could not decipher. It was as if they held answers just beyond my reach, answers that danced at the edge of my perception. As time went on, the symptoms escalated. The pain in my head became a relentless, throbbing agony that sent me to my knees, my hands clutching at my skull as if I could somehow will the pain away. My strength waned, my once sturdy frame growing frail and fragile. My nights were consumed by restless dreams that blurred the lines between the ordinary and the extraordinary, leaving me gasping for air and drenched in sweat. The medical tests grew more invasive, the doctors more perplexed. It was as if my body had become a canvas upon which the inexplicable was painted, a canvas that defied the very laws of nature. And amidst the sea of uncertainty, one thought lingered. Had my encounter with the alien beings left its mark on me, a mark that was now exacting its toll? The final months were a blur of pain, a symphony of suffering that crescendoed with each passing day. The fatigue grew unrelenting, my body becoming a prison that no longer obeyed the commands of my mind. I was confined to a hospital bed, the sterile surroundings contrasting sharply with the memories of luminescent walls and otherworldly beings. The pain was a symphony of its own, a cacophony of sensations that reverberated through every fiber of my being. The headaches were relentless, each throb a reminder of my body's descent into chaos. I could feel the weight of my mortality, a weight that had become a burden too heavy to bear. The nausea, the bouts of vomiting, had become a cruel routine. I could no longer partake in the simple pleasures of life, no longer savor the taste of food or the warmth of a sunny day. I was reduced to a mere shell, a vessel that held a soul weary from the battle with forces it could not comprehend. And then, as the end drew near, the pain evolved into a different kind of agony. It was as if the very fabric of my existence was unraveling, each thread of my being succumbing to forces beyond my control. My breath grew shallow, my heart a mere whisper of its former strength. The lights in the hospital room flickered, casting elongated shadows that danced on the walls. As the world around me faded, I was transported back to that moment of blinding light, to the sensation of weightlessness and the resonance of an otherworldly voice. And in that moment, as the boundary between life and death blurred, I felt a strange sense of peace. It was as if the cosmos itself was calling me back, offering solace in the face of the unknown. And so, I embraced the darkness, the pain giving way to a quiet stillness. The stars above, the same stars that had once beckoned my curiosity, now watched over me as I embarked on a journey beyond the boundaries of human comprehension. I was a seeker of truth, an explorer of the extraordinary, and as my body succumbed to the forces that had marked my existence, I surrendered to the cosmic embrace that awaited me.